Peace, love, and light, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. I'm Amina. This is going to be messages from your higher self in the divine and messages from the deep thoughts of your counterpart in the divine. Now, this is about healing and communication. This reading was laid out on Wednesday, but the video may upload like the weed morning of the next day because, like, y'all know how my situation is with either the internet or interruptions. So, but that also means that these cards have had plenty of time to charge with these stones. So take the time right now. If you didn't see this video previewed on TikTok and Instagram, take the time to resonate on the stones, what's calling to you, and understand that this is for the general collective. So some of these cards may resonate with you, some of them may not, but because this is pick a stone, there is something here for you. There's something to be reminded of, something that needs healing, something that needs better communication, okay? With your divine counterparts, we're going to be getting into their feelings and more so into like the negative sides of their mind, something that might be holding them back, could be from past, could be from present, so bear that in mind. And with the higher self, we're going to get into that. And then the divine's going to tell us what are some of the things that might be holding you back from doing what your higher self is suggesting. Now that you understand the purpose, we're going to jump right into group one. This is the stone you chose. I normally leave it where it's visible, but like it's a tight space here, guys. Okay, your higher self is saying, no one is you. That is your power. Don't give it away. Nobody can be you. Nobody can mimic, imitate, or even try to contain the essence of who you are. And sometimes there are people who try, but I feel more so that this card is about you just being reminded of your inner power. Not in a cocky sense, not in a operating from an egotistical or prideful, overly prideful rather, thought process, but just in a humble way. Remember who you are. If you're struggling with something right now and you're feeling like, how am I going to get through this? Or, it's just so much on my plate. I feel like that's what some of y'all are saying. Like, it's just so much on my plate, like between the kids or this person or that person or work or da 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 da. Remember that you've survived worse. If there's something that you need to prioritize, set the intention. And remember that once you set that goal or those goals, because for some of you it's plural, once you organize it and you get yourself together, the only person that can execute it to its fullest ability is you. Nobody else, because it's your thought, it's your idea, it's your baby, right? And you're the only one that can really create it or connect or resonate with it. So you might have needed that reminder. I'm going to sit this here. I may do like I always do and grab the cards back and forth. Let's see what the divine says you have to work on in relation to that. Staying committed. For some of you, this is about a relationship. For some of you, it's still work related or just goals in life in general. Your goals may feel so far away that they seem absolutely impossible. Accept the good, the bad, and the in-between times. Sometimes success takes a little longer to achieve. If you're feeling stuck, right, remember who you are. Not only have you survived worse, but you've been able to pull things out of nowhere before. You've been able to come up with things last minute before. If you want to avoid that, however, get committed and stay committed. Some of you have a lot of goals that you're working on and you're starting to feel a little overwhelmed. And again, it could be because you're like, how am I going to find the time for this between taking care of family or going to work or dealing with these people? Stay committed to what the goal is. Stay committed to yourself. If you're in a sacred union, stay committed to that sacred union. You may resonate with the cards down here, but I honestly pulled these to either flow with the top cards or be a complete separate reading. So if you're here for just this part, there are timestamps if you're here for just this part. But just be aware that typically when I'm reading, sometimes things just naturally connect, right? You might connect with all of these. You might connect with more than one. But I do feel like some of you do have relationships that could be going through a bit of something right now. There may be a lack of communication and self-expression. And you just needed that reminder of like, there's only one me and I'm powerful and I don't need to give that power away to anyone else, even if it is my divine partner. Because maybe your divine partner is also going through a little something and it's rubbing off on you. Stay committed to your goals. Stay committed to who you truly are. And look at it like this. The bad times are over and you learned something from it. If you feel like you're going through it a bit right now, I feel like most of y'all are in that in-between state. The in-between state is a very blessed state to be because it's the transitioning. It's you literally seeing how the cycle goes from whatever that bad situation was into whatever the new success and positivity is. And truthfully, it's all in divine timing, but I'm going to give you a little cheat code. Divine timing depends on when you're ready. That's why it seems to come quick for some, slow for others, and a mixture for the in-betweens, because when you're ready to really receive, this is not about give and take. If you're in give and take relationships, even if it's a sacred union, you need to start working on how to give and receive to each other. I'm going to have a video about that, and I've had other videos where I've spoke about that before, but there is a difference. And you want to be able to receive the love and the positivity of a union. You want to be able to receive the in-between period and the success. And the only way to truly receive that success is by being mentally, physically, and spiritually ready. And you got to do the work for that. You got to make the time for that. Make time. There are no problems without solutions, right? There's no issue that can't be solved. It's just a matter of really taking the time to go within to do it. And sometimes it's important to know that the reason it has to be you is because you're unique. You have the power within you to do it. No one else can do it the way that you do because there's only one you. You have the experiences of everything. If you're an old soul, you have all the experience of that as well as this lifetime. Use that intuition. I just saw 707. Those numbers may mean something to you, or the sacred number 7 may hold significance. Add those two numbers up until you get it down to a single digit. That single digit may have significance. As always, I'll put the numbers in the description. There's a burning question. We're going to go to the pendulum for the burning question. Very soon, whatever it is that you're worried about, whatever it is that you're working on. Again, I do feel like goals are a huge part of this for you, group 1. Being reminded of who you are, being reminded that you have the power and capacity to do what's necessary. It may seem like the end result is far off, but the more you get yourself together, the quicker it's coming in. So very soon, you're going to see progress. Very soon, you're going to receive a message, because I feel like some of you are waiting on a message of some sort. I'm not going to dive too deep into that because then we're getting too personal. But whatever that message is, yes, it's coming in very soon. Again, for those of you who have more personal questions that you asked in the moment, you'll know what that very soon is about and you'll be able to apply it. Use your discernment. So that was group 1. Group 2. Don't judge. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself. Some of you judge yourself. Stop judging others. Some of you are judging others. Okay? The amount of time, this is what I'm picking up. This is what I'm channeling. The amount of time that it took you to judge yourself or that other person, you could have actually been working on getting yourself together. You could have actually been working on achieving a goal. You could have actually been working on releasing some type of toxic behavior or toxic thought process, but instead you were spending too much time judging yourself and others. I don't care if they're a reality TV star. Because for some of you, that's how you vent, you know. It's one thing to be able to look at a person's situation and go, wow, if the lessons are right there and they're kind of not getting it. If I was around, I would try to help them with that or get them to see it. And maybe being a little frustrated that they don't see it because you know that deep down, whoever this person is you're judging is a good person. But on the other hand, some of y'all just get off on other people's drama. Let's just be honest, right? Let that go. Because there's something that you're going to need to be working on. And if you're spending too much time judging others, that's going to come back and bite you in the behind. Right? But for those of you that you're judging yourself, you're judging something within yourself. Maybe you base a lot of your inner thoughts on other people's opinions. Those other people's opinions don't matter to you. They're them, you're you. And yes, it's true that us as a whole, us as spiritual beings, us as human beings, we're all connected. Truthfully, we're connected to all living things. There's no limit. However, we have our own individuality for a reason. So just like with group 1, you need to realize that you are divinely unique. You're going to learn your lessons and go through your experiences in your own way. If you're judging something from your past, let that go as well. You know, the moment you realize something in your past made you a person that you didn't want to be, or made you do things you didn't want to do, that's that perfect moment to release it, to let go, right? Let go of judging yourself so harshly, or judging others so harshly. You got divine work to do, and you need to be ready to do it. What does Spirit have to say? Let it go, let it go. I literally channeled in like that. That's hilarious. It can be hard to keep a smile while simultaneously, forgive me if my English is blah, avoiding being pushed beyond your boundaries, but it's best to take the high road and let go to avoid conflict. If you find that you've been getting judged by someone and they're really pushing your buttons and you're ready to just snap, don't even waste your time. Again, the amount of energy it takes, the amount of effort it takes, the low vibrational frequency. There's other things you can be doing. I mean, you know, it involves self-restraint, but the beauty of self-restraint is that you'll learn how to handle all situations. This isn't about bottling up. I feel like people confuse self-restraint with bottling up their emotions. They're two different things. They don't operate the same, but they can sometimes seem similar. This is more so about, don't try to fall into conflict with people based on either them judging you, you judging yourself, or you judging others, because you'll end up missing really important opportunities because you'll be too busy falling down that spiral, and we don't want that. Conflict brings and breeds more conflict. Let it go. If there was an issue you had with somebody, let it go. It's not worth it. I feel like there's so much more that can be said with that, but I'm gonna leave that there because we got so much other to get to. Fuck no. Fuck no, you shouldn't be fighting with people. Fuck no, you shouldn't be putting up with no one's bullshit, but you also don't have to participate. That's the beauty of it. You ain't got to put up with it, but you ain't got to participate. You can do this thing we call walking away. It's not punk. It's not punkish at all. You just walk away. Don't argue with nobody. I don't care if it's your mama, brother, cousin, aunt, uncle 3 times removed, the dude down the street, the neighbor with the annoying cat. I don't know where that came from, but you know who you are. Let it go. Let it go. See, that card isn't just about what the words were there. It's also about what the key phrase was. The key phrase was let it go. Fuck no. Right? And for some of you, there's some interesting topics that you were questioning that came out to. You know who you are. I mean, that's your business. I'm not gonna say that. But Spirit said what they said. You knew that answer anyway, but you probably still went, damn it. But you knew that answer was coming out. Probably not that way, but you knew that it was coming. Group 3. Your awakening is here. You are quickly ascending. Yes, group 3. Okay, group 3. You might start noticing synchronicities, whether it be with numbers, signs, certain conversations that seem to be on repeat. There's a lot of evolving happening here, but I'm kind of feeling like some of you may not, like you see it, but you're doubting it. Or you see it in bits and pieces, but you kind of like tell yourself, oh, I'm tripping, I'm not. There's nothing unique about that. I'm just like over analyzing or over exaggerating. You're not. There is an awakening taking place, but a lot of times for an awakening to take place, there's some shadow work that needs to be done, or some type of improvement to self, right? And you're quickly ascending. So that means that your higher self, who's sending you this message, that higher being, all levels of it, as well as this physical being right now, are starting more and more to merge, which means your intuition, your dreams, your aspirations, and when I say dreams, I also mean visions, are going to start becoming more clear. So pay very close attention to your inner feelings and thoughts. You don't want to be in a negative mentality right now, because you'll manifest it. And that's a no. We don't want that. That's a no-no. Right? But even when it feels like things aren't happening, they are. Just work on yourself, work on healing, Work on learning how to communicate your thoughts better. That's what this reading is about as a whole, communication and healing. Okay. What does Spirit have to say? Shape up. Unhealthy habits are preventing you from obtaining your goals. So once again, we have a group working on goals. Whether it's getting in shape or making healthier choices in life, it's time to clean up. Some of you are dealing with depression. Some of you eat out of depression. Some of you are in shady situations. That's how it's translating. Like there's something shady going on. And you're not able to see progress right now because you're too busy focusing on the wrong, the bad, and you either eat away that pain or you do a bunch of other unhealthy things. Could be drinking. I see some of y'all drink a lot. Some of y'all smoke when you're frustrated, and it's affecting your health. For some of you, it's affecting your mental health. For others, it's affecting your physical health. You need to heal this because this awakening and this ascension it's in the process of happening. And what's going to take place is certain opportunities are going to come into your life, and you're going to need to be able to catch those opportunities. You can't do that if you're too busy focusing in the mentality of lack. If you're too busy feeling exhausted or tired because your health isn't in the best. And please remember that your mentality and your spiritual awareness plays a huge part in your health. When you're going through certain emotions, like when you're angry, if you pay attention to your body, it affects a certain part of the body. That's how people get disease and everything else. So the divine is pretty much telling you, pay attention to your health. The outlook might seem really frustrating. For some of you, it's depressing. For some of you, it's just, you feel stuck. You kind of feel like you're not moving, but Spirit is letting you know you're definitely moving. There's a burning question. Let's see the answer. Outcome amazing. Yes, the outcome is amazing. Just focus on getting healthy, mentally, physically, and spiritually. For some of you, it's all the above. Focus on progressing, growing, and evolving. It's all going to work out. Trust and believe that. Trust and believe it's set in stone. It doesn't matter what happens. It's not to, other people around you have free will. You can't control them. Other things may pop up with family or different people or whatever. Let that go, right? Just know that the outcome will be amazing for what you're trying to do. Allow yourself to be inspired. Allow yourself to work on your goals. I should be putting these over here, actually. Okay, we're going to get now into the love message. We start off with the sacred chakra energy. So that means that this is the energy, and of course it's the color orange. That's the chakra and energy that needs help in order for you to heal so that you can communicate. This is the message from the divine. Let's get into the divine masculine. I allow my inner demons to win victory over my weaknesses, and that fucked me up big time. The divine masculine has allowed for anger, frustration, low mentalities of self to be triggered. And when they're triggered, they act a whole damn fool. Some of them. I just saw 1812. That may mean something for some of you. They act a whole fool. For others, it's still triggers, but it's not so much that they're, how can I put this? They'll do destructive things to themselves. And in the moment, they're just so caught up, they don't catch it. And then later they end up regretting it, and they don't know how to express that to you. So sometimes these arguments might be with you, or sometimes it's with people near you, and it could be embarrassing, or, it's so many different people coming in. I'm going to try to narrow this down and keep it short. But you're dealing with divine masculines. They have a lot of inner demons, and they base how they respond to certain situations on when they feel weak and vulnerable. They struggle with that, right? And I feel like they're dealing with divine feminines that may feel the same way, but I don't think you two know it. You're mirroring each other, I feel, right? So some of you, it's a masculine card, but it's also how some of you feminines are feeling. Like you're struggling with past assumptions of self, or acting out whenever you have a negative feeling or vibration. That's the part of you that still needs healing. I feel like some of you have been working on it and you've made huge progress, but there's still more to clean, and you can't sweep it under the rug. Communicating this to your partner is going to become key at some point, and you definitely want to work on not being overly sensitive. When I say that, I mean, If you're talking to a partner, I feel like y'all mirroring each other, but let's say your partner's different. They may or may not understand right away what you're feeling. And you have to work on communicating and expressing yourself to them, and just be open and honest. Let them know this is something that makes me feel vulnerable. There's power in vulnerability, right? You think it's a weakness. It's not. There's power in it, because you learn how to grow and evolve, and you learn how to handle anything that comes your way. But if they don't understand something, and them simply saying, I don't understand, is enough to trigger you to shut down again, then what progress have you made, personally or otherwise? Okay, these cards are about divine unions. This isn't about side pieces and all of that. So these are people that you should want to be able to communicate with and be open with. So if there's been some blocks in the relationships, people watching for their divine masculine, this is why. Let's get into the divine feminine. My soul recognized yours the moment I laid eyes on you. These are definitely divine unions. So masculines or feminines who, because again, this is masculine energy. Feminines, this may be how your inner self masculine energy feels. But your partner has recognized the beauty of you. They see you. They understand you're going through changes. They understand you're going, but they're loyal to you. And they're willing to talk this out. They're willing to communicate. They just need you to at least crack the door. I'm going to say open the door, but they need you to at least crack the door. Let them prove to you, I can listen. We can talk about this. And make sure that you allow yourself to truly be vulnerable. You can even say to them, hey, let me know some, let's exchange. You tell me something about you. I'll tell you something about me. But be open. Don't be closed off, because they're really concerned. And they can kind of feel that because of those moments of acting out, you might feel lesser than in the relationship. And that can breed a whole nother problem that we're not even going to get into right now, because it'll get deep. But they're letting you know you're the one for them. They're loyal to you. They'll listen. They'll understand. Right? Y'all just need to talk to each other. And again, I do feel like some of the feminines are feeling this way as well. Let's get into what's the overall message for this couple. Right. Look at that. I only have eyes for the one I fell in love with. I become blind to all others who want me. They don't matter. I'm loyal. You see that? Divine masculines, if you're going through this moment of, my inner demons won over my weakness, you might be feeling insecure about your divine feminines. Not because they necessarily did anything, but because past relationships or whatever, we're not even going to go into detail, whatever it may have been, make you feel like they might be too good to be true, make you feel like they don't really love me the way that they say they love me. Even though you notice what they do for you, you're always putting up a block, you're always being a little blind, that you don't realize just how loyal and committed they are to you, so much so that they're willing to grow with you, they're willing to help you through your struggles. Divine feminines, the same can be said for the masculines, right? You resonate with what you resonate with, but this is a loyal union here. I really, really feel like, however, it's the masculine struggling the most with this. So if you're a masculine watching this, or if you're watching this on behalf of your masculine, and now you know a part of their inner thought, now you understand what they need to hear you say, even if it involves you really sitting down with them and stay calm. Don't let it turn into an argument. I don't feel like any of you from this group may need separation, but if it leads to you kind of just having to fall back a little bit so that they can really let what you say to them resonate, then so be it. But divine masculine, your feminine only has eyes for you. Divine feminine, your masculine only has eyes for you, right? Don't question their loyalty. You can really hurt a person when they're giving you all that they can and you still question their loyalty. Don't let the insecurities of the past get in the way of a beautiful thing. Okay? We have solar plex. Same explanation as the stone before. Solar plex is a very powerful energy. It helps ground us. So let's see what we got going on here. I've been told I wasn't worthy of love, and that stuck with me. All right, y'all are dealing with divine masculines that don't know how to be completely open. They can be the kind that are, the quietness isn't shyness, but it's definitely, I don't know how to express my feelings, or I don't want to be vulnerable. However, I'm picking up that they're vulnerable with you in ways that you might not have thought were vulnerable moments. You might have thought it was something else, but it was actually, and it is actually them being open. We'll dig into that probably in a little bit. Let's get into this. Once again, feels like mirroring. Let's get into the feminines. This is a direct mirror. The shit I've been through in my past has really fucked me up. It has become difficult to bounce back to normal. You guys are mirroring each other, and you might actually, because you're mirroring each other, and remember, divine unions always affect each other's energies. Y'all energy might be a little right now. For those of you that are with your person, dating, living with each other, communicating, but y'all not communicating to each other that you feel this way publicly. You might know it, you might see hints of it, but you're not talking about it. It needs to be talked about, right? Divine masculine is the reason you're feminine can sometimes just go through these like mood swings or moments of just melancholy, right? It's because it's hard for them to bounce back when they go through hardships. And when they argue with you, they don't want to. It doesn't matter how simple the argument may seem to you in the moment. To them, it was more complex because it's a trigger. Just like for you, it's the same thing. Sometimes there's certain things that they're saying or doing, and they don't mean no harm, but it's a trigger for you. And you'll say things to yourself, well, why should I be upset that they treated me or talked to me that way? Divine feminists, please understand that masculines are way more sensitive than they like to give themselves credit for. So you might think that that joke that you said to lighten the mood was cool, because I'm feeling like some of you, it was like a joke. And they kind of chuckled, but you could feel that their vibe changed. It's because they're more sensitive and they have a lot of triggers they haven't told you about. Y'all both need to realize that you've been through similar-ish, just in different ways. For the masculines, it's literally being told you're not worth my love or you're not worth loving. And for the feminines, it's just going through ish in general. Family, men, whatever, especially in the romance area. So now when things happen in life that are hard, it's difficult to bounce back. And both of you are picking up on each other's energies and it's affecting your moods. So please talk with each other and communicate this. Meditate on this. Meditate on what you need to say with yourself first before you approach the other person so it doesn't go left, as I say. What does the divine have to say? I get the feeling this is going to be interesting. I just saw 2727. This card is here to tell you that your person loves it when you're in control. They like to be told what to do. Don't feel bad. It's their secret fetish. Notice, remember I said they're vulnerable with you in ways that you're not taking as vulnerability. And I do feel like it goes both ways, but it does feel heavily masculine. It's with intimacy, specifically sexual intimacy. And I'm picking up a little bit of like mental intimacy. I'm going to break it down how I'm feeling as fast as I can. So the masculine, notice how he's tied up. He's blindfolded. Because of the way he was treated and the way that he's used to having up a wall, for him to even allow you to do this, you know your situation, you know what y'all do in the bedroom. We're not going to break that down right now. Right? But for him to allow you to do some of the things that y'all do in the room, even if it's as simple as saying, okay, babe, like you have control tonight. He's not used to doing that with any other person, any other feminine energy. He's not used to it. He allows you to do it because he trusts you. And it's the same for the feminine. There are feminines who like to have a person in control of them because of a trauma. In this case, these feminines like to be vulnerable in intimacy with their masculines because they're so strong-headed on the surface. Like, nothing can touch me. You know, that's typically their vibe because, once again, walls. And it's kind of hard right now to bounce back and put on that facade. But when they're intimate with their partner, they're submissive. Let me explain. Because over time, this has been completely taken out of context, and I see too many people operate from it. Submissive isn't about bow down to me when it comes to intimacy. That's not what this is about. That's not why the woman surrenders herself. Submissive is, I'm going to allow you to enter my sacred space because I trust you to not only fulfill the pleasure need, but to honor it, to respect, to receive what I'm giving back, to mean no harm and do me no harm. That's what being submissive means. And that's why energy wise, the masculine energy strives for it so much, because in reality, the masculine energy knows that it's such a blessing when the divine feminine actually submits of her own free will, gives in of her own free will to give and receive. Remember, I said there's a difference between give and receive and give and take, right? Both partners, and take it how it resonates for your situation, are doing this in their own way. Whether it's something sexual, something in conversation. I'm seeing like some of these masculines, sometimes they don't want to talk to people. Like, fuck it, I don't want to talk to nobody. And you know them well enough that you're like their translator. That's what I call myself whenever like I have family or people that I understand what they're saying when no one else do. I say I'm their translator. You're like your divine masculine's translator. And typically if you were anyone else, he'd be like, why are you talking for me? But when it's you, it's like, oh, okay. And you think that that's just normal, like, oh, that's just how we are. That's them showing you a bit of vulnerability. That's them saying, I trust you to do that. I trust you to, but it's still hard to express to you without feeling like they're going to be seen as weak, or, they kind of relate a little bit to group one. They're not necessarily the same person, but they kind of relate to them a little bit. So understand that those intimate moments, and if you've been picking up that your divine masculine goes through these issues, or your divine feminine, and you've been feeling kind of bad about being a little controlling in the bedroom, they actually like that. Not in a toxic way, but in a I'm surrendering to you kind of way. Hopefully, I'm bumping my camera. Hopefully that makes sense to y'all. I could go in detail, but we got to move along. But I think y'all get what I mean. Y'all know y'all situation. Use your discernment. Remember, all the cards may resonate for you. Some may resonate for you. We have the heart chakra. So we definitely know this is the matter of love. It's all love, but this is like love. I felt like you came on too strong, and at the time too fast, and that was a turnoff. So feminines, whatever you were trying to express to these divine masculines, either they didn't get the full message, but what they did pick up came off a little aggressive. I feel like for some of you it was aggressive. For others, they just had like a duh kind of moment. Not a duh like a duh, but like a duh kind of moment. You might be a very strong-headed woman. You might be a very, when I'm ready, I'm ready. When I want something done, I want it done. And you might have been trying to communicate something, and you were just either too harsh with it, or too bold maybe, and they just couldn't. They're not used to this. If they are used to it, they're kind of like a little tired of it. I'm feeling more so like they're not used to it. Most of you have guys that are just not used to a person being that way with them. They didn't get it right away, and it felt a little too over the top, so it was a bit of a turn off. I also feel like some of these masculines are strong. Like, I'm gonna say bullhead is not the answer I'm looking for. They can be a big like bit in their head, a bit prideful. I don't feel like it's overly such, but enough to where there's a certain level of ignorance that plays in here. Like I'm just getting the sense of a masculine that's kind of like, she's trying to say something to me, but I don't get it, and it's coming off, but her energy is coming off too strong, and I'm like not vibing with this right now. So if you've been in an argument recently because you were trying to communicate something and you thought the masculine should just get it, he didn't, and your energy was a little aggressive. So both of y'all gonna need to kind of calm down. Not all conversations need to happen in the moment. Sometimes people just need to chill. They need to take 2-3 minutes to relax and then come back and rejuvenate. Divine feminines, I'm ready to separate from my current partner. So some of y'all might not be with your divine masculines right now. You might be with someone else, and you're ready to cut them loose to get with your masculines. And you might have been trying to communicate that, and they kind of didn't get it because of the way you did it, but it also felt too strong. Whatever you might have said or done, I feel like some of y'all, you might have felt that you just came out and said it. They didn't. They were a little dazed and confused. For others, it's not the current partner part is more so that I'm ready. Whenever you're ready to do something, you want it done then and there. And you're dealing with a masculine that sometimes they ride with that, sometimes they don't. And when you get upset or when you get frustrated and you express yourself, you think it's passionate, they think you're just being an asshole. That's what I'm hearing. Like, why she being an asshole? Please know the difference, because it is true that whether it be divine masculines or feminines, people confuse being passionate and being an asshole many a time. You know that if you went from, I might be just getting a little excited in how I'm expressing something, to, okay, now I'm calling you names, now I'm saying you're stupid, now I'm saying your idea is stupid, now I'm asking you why you so dumb that you couldn't get my point. Y'all know. And these letters are in red, so this is passionate. This is for some of you frustration, for some of you it's passionate frustration, for some of you it's just passion. Some of you are with your divine masculines, but y'all communication is so black right now that there are days that you're like, I'm ready to just bounce. Because he's not getting it and I'm ready to just bounce. Okay? In order to prepare that union, I'm not going to say that some of you may not need a break, because it depends on the energies, right? But for some of you, it's about taking some time to yourself. Make time. I don't know how to make the time for yourself. Go within. Allow yourself to breathe it out so that you can communicate what you're feeling better, so that it doesn't come off so aggressive. Divine masculines, especially if you're reading and this is y'all's situation, maybe you're watching it together, understand that just because a feminine has been with you for a very long time, it doesn't mean that they will stay, divine or not. No one's going to put up with feeling lesser than in a situation or not heard. So even though they get frustrated because they feel like you should know, or whatever the case may be, y'all have to figure out how to calm down. I feel like these are two people that can be very strong-willed. For some of you, one's more quiet than the other, but when it comes to being stubborn, both of y'all can be pretty stubborn in your ways. Relax a bit on that. Okay? And remember, the current partner, for some of you, you're mad at your masculine right now. For some of you, you were with someone else and you're ready to be with the divine masculine. You know who he is, but the way you're communicating it, he's like lost. He's like dazed and confused. And you came off kind of aggressive. So, and for others, it's not about these two having to be in a relationship together. It can be two separate people. If you're watching for your masculine, here's how he feels. If you're watching for your feminine, here's how she feels. Okay? Take what resonates from spirit. The person that you're into has no idea. Okay, for some of you, I'm being told it stops right there. The message for you from this card is your person has no idea. Whatever it was that you were just questioning, they didn't know. They need you to explain it better, or they need you to explain it to begin with. For the rest of you, it continues on. How badly you want them. For some of you, this is for a person you're already in a relationship with. For others, this is a person that you're trying to get in a relationship with. You've been in a relationship with someone and it might, for whatever reason, there may be some, how can I explain this? It feels like some of you are going through not the loss of the honeymoon phase, because some of these relationships feel too old for that. It's more like the spark is it's dwindling a little bit. And you still love the person, but they're not really feeling it because you're not doing the things you used to do. Take it how it resonates. Okay? Full message. The person that you're into has no idea how badly you want them. They're blind to it. With this love interest, one must be literal, or they'll simply surpass your flirtatious energy. This is for whether you're in union or not. If you're dealing with a partner, male or female, that you haven't been showing a lot of affection to, for whatever reason, they might be now taking it like, I don't know if this person really, if we're vibing with each other the way we used to. If it's a new union, it's somebody you're trying to get the attention of, they're like, I'm not getting her subtle hints. They're not getting it. You have to be blunt. Take these cards how it resonates, because for this group, I'm feeling like for some of you, it's all together. And for others, it's like separate things like that or like that. So vibe, you know your situation. Use your discernment. You were attracted to this stone in this deck for a reason. There's also something here about the blindfold, just like with the other group. There's something about eyes being covered or like a veil over the eyes. Some of you might have other people interfering in your unions. That's what I'm hearing. I'm not hearing the specifics, but I'm hearing that some of y'all might have, there's some interference and it's making your partner a little blind to what's going on, because imagery matters as well, and that's the energy that came in with this image. But that's the reading, my loves. I will put this timestamps in the, oh, you know what? No, I'm feeling compelled to go into another deck. Hold on. We gotta do what Spirit says do. Okay, let's pull some signs. Aries, the radical, right? That fits that passionate feeling, that fits that like almost rebellious kind of feeling, right? This is somebody that can be very courageous. Remember, one of the stones represent the heart. You see she has a tattoo of a heart right there. Is there any more signs? Capricorn, the boss. Aquarius. Ooh. Oh, it would fall on the floor. Give me a second, guys. Oh, I can't stand when that happens. Y'all have no idea. Can't stand my cards on the floor. Gemini. Okay, so automatically we have the passion and fire energy of Aries. We have the grounded energy of Capricorn, but Capricorns can also sometimes be passive aggressive. We have I believe Aquarius is air. Yeah, we have the air energy of Aquarius here. So you guys, there's so much going on here. We have Gemini coming in with the butterfly feeling. I feel like this also fits for some of y'all that are like, you deal with inner duality. Like one minute you're kind of depressed and then not, and you know. These signs may be in your chart. Whether they are or not, this is the energy and the vibration around your situations. Take it how it resonates, because for some of you, this is in reference to those higher self messages, and for others, it's the love messages. Some of you are the radical boss. You're an innovator, and you're going through a transformation because we have the butterfly here, right? So when it comes to your radical side, keep the fierceness. Maybe calm down a bit on the more impulsive side of yourself, the more aggressive side. Plan a bit more, right? And when you plan, you'll be stepping into that boss energy of Capricorn. And the boss energy of Capricorn is more realistic, but still a badass. You know, you're still a badass. You're not getting too ahead of yourself, right? And then when it comes to the Aquarius, when it comes to the innovator, you're a person that can be experimental. Don't be afraid to experiment with things, okay? Don't be afraid to allow, be edgy, but just, I keep hearing plan whatever you're trying to do more. So I feel like this is for those of you who had certain goals that you were working on. And when it comes to the Gemini, it's about the flexibility of the Gemini, and Geminis can tend to be social. You might need to be a little bit more social to get the things you're trying to communicate across. So for some of you, this is heavily in reference to communication more so than the healing part. And butterflies represent rejuvenation and transformation anyway. They transform from the caterpillar into the butterfly. Each butterfly has their own unique design to their wings, even when it looks the same to the naked eye. It's uniquely different. We have the energy of Saturn here, so discipline is needed. Wisdom and discipline. Now we're getting into that healing part and the other part. We have that's perfect. Outlook. You know which one that flows with. Remember, amazing outlook. Outlook amazing. Right? There's some beautiful things taking place. Some of you are too concerned about certain outer appearances. When you work on the inner, it will reflect on the outer. And when you put effort into both, you'll see. It'll all make sense. But remember, the outlook is always based on the vibration you choose to operate from. You operate from positivity, the outlook and the outcome will be positive. Yep, here we have it right here. Outlook and outcome amazing. Outlook and outcome. See that? Flow right along with each other. We have Venus, love energy. This is harmony coming in, romance. For those divine unions that need better communication, we have, the love. And then we have the Sun card, self-awareness. Self-awareness and creativity is key to expressing yourself, to being able to communicate the way you're really trying to. For your unions, for healing, balance, and empowerment. All of these are important, but balance and empowerment will help you balance each other's energies. You have to get balanced within so that you can balance each other out and come together. That's the reading, my loves. Blessings to you all. May this give you the guidance and clarity that you needed. Remember to use your discernment, because a lot of different things it was a lot of different energies. So many things were flowing in and out of each other. But just know that everything that you want to achieve in your relationship with your goals in life, those messages from your higher self, those messages from your divine partners, they're like the stepping stone into what you're trying to do. Your higher self is telling you, hey, the thing you're trying to achieve already exists. You just need to put in the work. When it comes to your unions, your divine partners just need you to see that there are times that they're struggling. There's times that they need your forgiveness, or there's time that they may need your guidance, even if it's just spiritually. You may not be able to just hop on the phone and talk to them, but you can definitely send your energy in spiritually. But don't invest all of your energy only into that. You still have to also work on yourself. That's still key. Okay? Peace, love, and light. Blessings to you all.